That's awesome.
Yellow. Hello. Is everything good? Oh, you're muted. Austin, you're muted. Uh-oh. I'm not sure what's going on, guys. I think Austin will be back. Some technical difficulties happening. Today, we are going to be reviewing... Oh, hello, you back?
I hope so.
I hear you now.
Gosh darn it.
I was about to carry the show myself.
My internet, it cut me out, man. That fucked me today.
That was really bad timing.
Gosh. Yeah, so you know what? Fuck it. We ball. This is
We
live,
ballin'.
so you know what? We're not editing anything, so
we do it
fuck
live.
It. We ball. We're free. We do it live. We're doing it live. Fuck it.
Yeah, I was about to just say, hey guys, you know, we're supposed to be reviewing Texas Chainsaw 2 today, but looks like it's just me. I was like,
yeah,
hey.
it started to seem like yeah, it seems like that's gonna be the thing, I think.
I mean,
hopefully not.
You're here now. Things are working out.
Let's see here. Are you? Oh no. No.
Oh no. Oh god.
Hang on, I might switch over to my hotspot.
Yeah, no worries,
this,
no worries.
This is ridiculous.
No worries. Well, guys, in the meantime, you know, Texas Chainsaw 2, what's everyone's thoughts about it? If you want to comment down below there, share your thoughts. Personally, I mean, it's not going to be a surprise. I loved it. I love Texas Chainsaw. Well, 1 and 2. There's a lot I'm not really a fan of in the franchise, but we'll get to it when we get to it. Oh man, it's like crazy. The timing on his internet. We literally just started. Oh my god, he's back. Hello.
Hello. I switched over to my hotspot because my extender's being a bitch.
Alright, it does seem better.
Alright, well, fuck it. Sorry, everybody. I know 5 minutes have gone by, but listen, we're just having some technical problems. It's fine.
Hey, it happens. It happens. It happens to the best of us.
It always does. It always happens to the best people, not the worst people, unfortunately.
Real as hell. But hey, I mean, we got it now. We can continue.
I hope we can continue.
Texas Chainsaw 2.
Texas
Star Wars
Chainsaw
Network.
2, indeed. Oh, Star Wars
He just
Network, hello?
Austin. He just says Austin. I am your father.
Good to know.
That's interesting. Did you know that was your dad?
No, I did not.
You know, neither did Luke Skywalker.
I guess so.
All right.
So, hi everybody. 5 minutes late. Welcome back to the channel. Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. You know who we are at this point. We came back with the milk. You know, we were gone for 2 weeks. It's fine. Uh,
Ah,
AngryCareBears, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right today. I apologize for not being here last week. I was having a family emergency, so obviously, had to postpone. But I'm here today. I'm off today, so I have time. And I am excited to review Texas 2, one of my favorites.
It is indeed a Texas 2.
Texas 2.
Now, before we talk about Texas Chainsaw 2, I want to give a little background as to how this movie came to you. Because you're thinking, Austin, wasn't the first movie supposed to be just a one-off thing?
Well, that's how it always is.
It's how it always starts. But you know what? You know what these studios do? You know what they do? They look at the money. They look at the green. And guess what? The movie made a shit ton of money. Not only in its initial release, but its re-release, actually.
Wow, Morbius could never.
I know. Remember when Sony re-released Morbius because they thought the memes were going to make it money?
And not a
Well,
soul saw it.
no. They didn't see it the first go around, and they didn't see it the second go around.
I think that's hilarious.
That is cruel irony if I've ever seen it.
On God.
Now, Tobe Hooper, New Line Cinema re-released it. Yeah, remember New Line Cinema?
Oh,
The OG boys that decided to, they did the Nightmare on Elm Street films. They've done a few other things,
yeah.
but they re-released Texas Chainsaw, and then Tobe Hooper was like, "All right, shit, I guess I'll develop a sequel to the
I mean,
movie." And
if I'm a new up and coming director, I've only done a couple of movies, and this one just takes off like that. Shit, I'd make a sequel too.
exactly, I think it made like what did we say it made last time? Like it. I mean, if we're talking inflation, it made like a crap ton of money. We're talking millions of dollars here.
It made like Marvel money in the 70s.
Which that's a big deal for, especially for horror films, because they don't really typically make
Pop
that
off
kind of
like
money.
that. No.
Yeah. So the fact it made that kind of money even in like 1974, that's impressive.
Oh yeah.
Um, so this movie came out, Texas Chainsaw 2 came out in 1986.
Yeah, I know it was 14 years after when the first one took place, I believe. I know it came out in 74, but I think it took place in 73. And I believe it was like a 14-year gap between the movies.
Yeah, it was something like that, but it was like a over a decade, I think, of.
Yeah, it was over a decade for sure.
So the movie came out about a half a decade more, no, a decade later. Um, the budget was considerably more in 1984, probably because of inflation.
Inflation
Or
and,
86.
sequels are bigger and better. Your
I
first
mean,
one's gonna do that well. Hollywood's gonna give you that money to make a sequel and say, here.
especially with the guy with Tobe Hooper in the in the director's chair, I feel like they're gonna be like, yeah, we'll give you some money here.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're gonna play our little guessing game before we get into the movie itself, because I love playing this game.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna play guess how much money it made. Yes, it's not a creative name, I know, but fuck
How
it.
much did the first one make again?
Oh, let's see here. Now I got to go back and do my whole shingamadig. Because let's see here, it made 30.9 million in 1974.
Yeah.
So if we're doing the math on that, 1974 30.9 million. And oh shit, no, I got to be using Google for this. Don't worry, everybody. I'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming in a second here. 30.9 million in 1974. So 30 million in 1974 would be equal to $204,938,312 in 2025.
Damn.
So that's a lot of moolah right there.
Telling me. All right.
Now, the budget of Texas Chainsaw 2 was it's roughly between 4.5 and 4.6 million.
Whew.
Now, I'm pretty sure I got to do some conversion on that. So 4.5 million in 1984 would be about give me 1 second, because now I gotta the value would be, oh no, the budget of, wait, no, not 450,000, it would be 0.5 million. Hold on, now I gotta, oh god, I gotta do math.
Oh god, I hate math.
I know, it's awful. So it's 6 zeros, or no, it would be, yeah, all right, my math's correct. 4.5 mil would be about $13,758,609 today.
Damn.
I mean, it's not a lot of money now, but back then, this was probably a crap ton of money.
Yeah.
Now, in your mind, how much do you think this movie made?
I think so I gotta think back in like 80s type standards. I wanna say it made about I want to say it made about 70 million in 80s money, not considering inflation.
Let me do the math here. It made that much. So you are like, I think you overshot it, I think.
Oh shit.
So I'll give you a hint. This movie did not make a lot of money, surprisingly, in 2025 terms.
Could cuz like 14 years for a sequel. Um Damn, okay. So like 50 million?
No.
Shit. How much did it make?
So if its budget was 4.5 to 4.6 million in 1984, or no, 86. Why do I keep saying 84? I think I keep getting
Cuz
74 and 80.
74 was the first one, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm mixing myself up. In the box office, it only made $8 million.
Oh, that's tough.
And if we're converting it into now, it would be worth $24,459,749
Damn. Okay.
and 76 cents.
76 cents. Don't forget the 76 cents.
We never do. All right, so we got our fun little guessing game out of the way. Now it's time to talk about the actual movie that you people came here for. So if anybody's going into this movie thinking, oh, you're getting like a sequel to the movie exactly like the first movie, well, you get a sequel, but you're not getting exactly what you got in the first movie, because this movie goes into more the black comedy route, and it's still kind of scary, but it's not scary, I guess, if that makes any sense. It's a more comedic take.
Oh yeah, it's a dark comedy for sure.
So, well, I guess we could talk about it. You know what? I'm gonna let you start. I want to hear your thoughts.
I think it's a really enjoyable movie, but if you're expecting something like the first movie, like going into the movie the first time watching it, I can understand why people are going to be very turned off by it. Because I watched it like a lot of years later, I ended up really enjoying it. I really liked the dark comedy aspect. I mean, it fit well. It's still a dark, gritty, gory film. And I mean, Chop Top's one of my favorites from the franchise, so, you know, this movie brought him in.
You know what? I'm gonna say something that might be controversial.
You
Again,
always do. You always
I
do. You
know
always got the wrong opinions.
I got these hot takes so hot that it'll burn you. Um, my hot take is I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part Two is actually kind of better than the first movie.
I mean, that's not something I really argue with. I think they're both good in their own terms, depending on what you feel. Like, I like them, I think, both the same.
You know, I was watching a Cody Leach video on like I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think he did a ranking of these movies. He said both part 1 and part 2 are kind of like it depends on the mood that you have and some days he
Yeah.
prefers part 2, some days he prefers part 1. I think that's kind of my mentality, but if I were to just go for like just it in general film, I think I would prefer part 2 over part 1 because part the first movie is a very niche film. Like it
Yeah.
is a very like uncomfortable, gross feeling movie, but in a good way. But
Yeah, I
it's
mean, that's kind of the point.
but it's one of those movies because of that that it doesn't make you want to just willingly go back and watch it because it's like because it's not a movie you would go back to in term because just to have that uncomfortable feeling like throughout the film. Like it's I think part 2, yes, it kind of has that same feeling, but it has that feeling in more of like because it's very goofy, but it's still like very creepy. And I feel like if you're gonna show somebody like a Texas Chainsaw movie, you'd probably either show them this one or you show
Yeah.
them the first one because you don't want because not everybody's gonna watch part 1 and enjoy it. Like everybody's gonna watch part 2 and be like, "Oh, I think most people like would still like." Again, it comes down to taste, but I feel like it would be more approachable than part 1.
Yeah.
Um, because this takes everything from part 1 and ramps it up to like 70 in terms of like the gore, the very like grotesque stuff, while also kind of doubling down on the black comedy that Tobe Hooper was like oh, there was black comedy in the first movie. I'm like, it's there, but it's not.
It's nowhere near as in this movie where it's like full blown.
No, and you could see it right away when like they're doing like the intro where, unlike the first movie where it's very like grim and very like eerie, like in this movie, it starts with two guys like speeding down the road and calling into Stretch's radio show, and then you got Leatherface, like he's got like the skeleton and like he's like
Yeah.
cutting the roof off. I was like, oh shit, like this is a
It's
high octane start. Like,
it's also the skeleton of his brother Nubbins, the hitchhiker who got run over in the first movie, because that's how he died. It's
oh,
his
I didn't
skeleton.
notice that.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, good thing you're here because I would not have noticed that.
Yeah. I got a lot of movie knowledge.
You have a lot of movie knowledge. That's why you're on the show.
Yeah, it's always random movie knowledge. You can ask me something, I'd probably be like, man, I don't know, but I could tell you this.
It's like, hey, well, what's the meaning to life? Oh, I don't know, but did you know that in Texas Chainsaw 2 that the corpse of Leatherface's
Nubbin
brother,
Sawyer.
of the hitchhiker, yeah, I I view it as this. I think Tobe Hooper knew or Hooper. Why do I keep saying Hooper? Tobe
Could you say
Hooper.
Tobe? It's Toby.
No, it's Tobe.
Okay.
Listen, if there was an accent on the E, then I would call him Toby. but it's not Toby. It's not spelled Toby. It's not spelled Tobie. It's Tobe. Tobe. There's no pronunciation on the E. So you know what? I'm going to say his name as it's spelled. So it is Tobe. His name is Tobe Hooper. And I don't care if that's wrong. Let's see if I can connect back to my extender.
Austin? Uh-oh. Alright. So, Texas Chainsaw 2, great movie, by the way, guys. Toby, see? Even Bone knows. Thank you.
Bone! What's up, Bone?
Got a cute cat in that profile picture. Is that your cat? I like that. Cute. I don't know where my cat is. He's running around somewhere.
Ah, makes sense. It's one of Bone's favorite movies.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's a good one.
So like, I think like I was saying before I had to go on that tangent about Tobe Hooper.
Toby.
It's Tobe. Cleo is
Aww.
his cat.
That's so cute. She's beautiful.
Indeed. Now Tobe knew that he probably couldn't recapture lightning in a bottle.
No.
You know, because the first movie is like you can't really replicate it. So he's like, fuck it, might as well make it a parody of itself. And you know what? I think he succeeded on that front because it was actually a very entertaining film, which is what I would want in a comedy film.
Definitely. It's got to be funny, entertaining. There is a lot of stakes. A lot of moments that are still gross. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. There's one moment in particular that's just so uncomfortable. And I think you might know what I'm talking about, but I don't know if you want to say it now, if we should wait till. It's towards the end of the movie where oh gosh. I believe his name is LG.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And so you know what? Spoiler alert to this to this movie that came out in 1986. So you know, if you haven't seen it already, well, fool you. Yeah. So he gets his head bashed in with a hammer earlier on, and he gets his face skinned off, and they're like taking him apart, like skin apart almost. It's very grotesque. But he's still alive though, and I actually kind of found this funny because there's one key thing to his character. He always has to spit, and even when this man was like suffering there, he's still spitting. And I'm like, damn, my boy he's a tough man, I think. He's a very, very tough guy. Am I sounding okay, everybody? I just want to make sure. Because I want to make sure my internet's not playing this game. Although I have a suspicion it might be. No, it's looking fine. Bone, am I sounding okay? Because I don't know if it's just me or AngryCareBears. No, it doesn't seem to be me. Or yeah, no, it's fine. See, this is a very awkward. LG couldn't figure out how to end the phone call. Yeah, yes. You know what? That is exactly correct. LG could not figure out how to end the phone call. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me almost of the Matrix Revolutions, where Trinity would not die.
That is true. Like, she just kept talking. I'm like, man, can you hurry up?
See, this is like a cinematic universe. This show is a cinematic universe. Every episode matters because you want to know why? Because we're going to make references to things that we've already talked about.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was that was like very very uncomfortable. Um, so this review is going to be all over the place, which is fine because this movie was kind of all over the place in a good way. Um, I gotta say it. This might be another controversial opinion. I'm sorry. Stretch is a better final girl than Sally is. Now Angry Care Bears is very silent on this. I don't know if she's very upset or if her audio went out or she agrees with
My
me.
oh, hello.
Hello?
Oh, that was my audio going out. So I agree because Stretch was more fleshed out. There's a lot like, is my audio cutting out again?
No, it's fine.
Okay, okay. Sally and her friends were just kind of like random people to show up in a random situation. While like Stretch feels more tied into the story. Like I don't know how to explain it, but they were able to flesh her out more. She's more grounded into the story than Sally was, who was just kind of like, oh, she just showed up and happened to have a horrible situation. While with
To be
Stretch, there's more story. Texas Chainsaw 1 didn't really have a story other than like terrible events happening to people who didn't deserve it, while 2 has an actual story that builds off of that.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna say this too. Does nobody in this universe, this Texas Chainsaw universe, know how to lock doors? Because I feel like that's kind of the central theme I'm seeing here.
I
If
guess not.
only if only Leatherface would just lock the door in the first movie,
I
then
mean, maybe they
nothing would have
want people
happened.
to come in so they can kill them and eat
But
them.
no, that's true. But at the same time, he did destroy his front door, causing him to get beat up by the cook or Clayton or
But
Drayton.
Drayton. But like Leatherface is mentally like a kid. He's like he's not somebody with like who would probably learn from that. He just knows what he knows.
Yeah, speaking of him being very kid-like, he's more like kid-like in this movie than I think he's probably going to be in a lot of the other films. Because
Yeah,
the way he's
a
very
lot.
high pitched, very whiny almost. Like the curiosity, like the childlike curiosity, especially, is kind of prevalent.
Yeah, he kind of feels like a he's becoming a teenager kind of in this movie mentally because I mean he develops a crush on Stretch and it feels like more like Leatherface kind of grew from the first movie than just like being a dog because that's how he was
Indeed.
treated.
And you want to know how he progresses from to this teenage mindset? Well, let's just say he does something with a chainsaw that's just a little weird for my taste. Um, this is the first time I saw this movie, and you know what? I think I could have gone my whole life without seeing Leatherface take his chainsaw and provocatively, if I'm saying the word correctly, um,
Yeah.
provocatively insinuate um, the things he was going to do. Now, I don't want to say it on YouTube because that could get me banned off the internet for
Demonetized.
life.
Yeah, I gotta love
Like,
YouTube.
I can't be demonetized because I don't make money, but at the same time, I also don't want to get banned off the platform, nor do I want to be banned off this earth. So you know what? You can let your imagination take it to where you think it is. And guess what? You're all sickos if you're thinking the same thing that I'm talking about.
It's like gross in what it's implying, but it's nothing like super explicit, you know? It's not like, yeah. When you watch it, you'll know what he's doing, but it's not like crazy movies nowadays that'll just straight up do that.
Oh yeah, no, trust me. There are some movies that do that. I'm looking at you, Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Yeah,
Um,
that type of stuff. It's more like of an it's like implied, while in like a Rob Zombie film, they'll just straight up do it.
oh yeah, because it's Rob Zombie.
Implication versus actual execution.
Oh sure. I mean, you go through all that stuff. I mean, Drayton's back, and Poor Drain. You kind of feel for him towards the end because even though he's an evil man, he's an evil sick man. At the same time,
Yeah.
this man was completely over it by the end of the movie. He's like, this man having to deal with both Chop Top and Leatherface, bro. This man genuinely wanted to end life he wanted to end his life, which is what he did at the end. He was like, man, this is not worth it anymore. I guess I'll just die, and then he died,
Yeah.
which is based, honestly. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, it happens.
I mean, this man lived life to his fullest. I mean, he had a successful chili business and he went off on his own terms. So I was like, you know what? This man deserves a lot of respect.
I thought the chili competition thing was kind of a smart move because, like, it shows how they can get money and stuff.
I love how the person pulled out a bone and then he's like, "Oh, that's one of those
Yeah, it was like a
peppercorns."
tooth. Yeah. Like, no, that's a straight up tooth, bud.
Like, come on. But I guess that lady was very stupid because she just thought nothing of it.
Yeah.
And I'm
I
like, you know
mean,
what?
I'm
You
not gonna
deserve teeth
lie.
bones.
If that happened to me, I don't think my first, like, indication would be, oh, yeah, that's a tooth.
No, because you don't think that there's going to be like human stuff in the chili. You think, oh, it's probably normal stuff.
Yeah. But
Now,
no, I love it.
granted, certain places might actually do that, but I don't want to put. I'm not gonna say. I mean, I'm not gonna insinuate stuff. So you know what? I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut and keep going because you never know. Uh, all right. Give me 1 second. Entertain the audience for just a few seconds.
Okay. I am entertaining the audience. So, Chop Top gotta be my favorite Texas Chainsaw Massacre character, cause I mean, he's just so funny. I think when Leatherface busts through one of the doors and just like knocks his wig off, and he like you can see like the titanium plate on his head. It was a funny scene. Probably my favorite scene, my most memorable scene was that, and how they were just really like torturing Stretch mentally, just being evil. And then Leatherface is just doing his thing on wanting to kill, then cook, while Chop Top likes to emotionally and mentally mess with his victims.
Oh yeah, Chop Top rules.
He's so funny.
He
I
is.
That's Bill Moseley, right?
I think so.
He's great. He's so great.
He is very cool. I like him.
Yeah.
Was he in? Oh no, it was a different guy in part one. Never mind.
No, that was oh my god, I forgot his name, but they're good friends in real life.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Because I was thinking about
But
because
yeah.
I think you may have mentioned that like he was like the twin brother. I think.
Yeah, Chop Top and Nubbins are twins.
Gotcha. That makes sense. But yeah, no, Chop Top rules.
He's really funny. And
He
I
really is.
feel like he carries a lot of the humor.
Yeah, he's got a
Cause
lot of
like
personality to him.
oh yeah, because like everyone else is either sadistic or they're the victim, while he's being funny. And a lot of the situations in the movie is what is the comedy. It's more like situational stuff. While Chop Top straight up has like jokes and stuff, he'll just be saying random stuff like non flashback, non flashback.
Yeah, because like he Oh wait, was that when he got
That's when Leatherface knocked his wig off with a chainsaw in the
Oh yeah,
DJ
yeah.
room.
I thought that was when he
Hmm
got shocked with the lamp. That's
I
when
think he
he
did it
started.
both times, honestly. I like his hippie getup and how
Yeah, he
he was
has
like
like
in
the
the
little.
war. Yeah, he wasn't in the first movie because he was in Vietnam, which is something he probably really enjoyed being in.
Oh, I'm pretty sure you could ask anybody there. Sorry, I didn't mean to joke like that. I'm sorry, but that was just a quick little tee up.
Let's just say he probably wasn't drafted.
Yeah, let's just say he might have been screwed up.
Yeah, he probably volunteered to go kill people for fun.
Indeed. And he got a metal plate in his head
Yeah,
for his trouble.
yeah, because he got like blown up or something. I couldn't remember.
Just like Drayton got blown up with a grenade.
Yes. Oh god, the sheriff was so cool.
Dude, the sheriff rules. I think his name was Lefty, I think.
Yeah, he came in to save Stretch, and he's like, "You get out of here!" And then he fought Leatherface with a chainsaw, like Star Wars.
The fact they had a chainsaw fight in the middle of the movie, I was like, hell yeah.
I mean, yeah, why not at that point?
Yeah, it ruled. I mean, he was just a cool ass dude the entire movie because I think he was like the
Super cool,
uncle.
supportive. Yeah, he was the uncle of Sally and Franklin.
I correct. And the whole time, he's like, all right, I got to find these chainsaw killers because he probably was informed of that. But
Yeah,
the higher ups were like, no, the case is closed. He's like, fuck it, I'll do it by myself. And he grabbed the chainsaws, and I'm like, well, what the hell is he doing here? He's like grabbing chainsaws, testing them out. I'm like, oh my god, this man's gearing up to face Leatherface,
I
dude.
liked when he like. I thought the set design was really awesome in the tunnels. How it looked really cool.
Yeah,
It looked like a Fallout city. And when he found all the bodies that had propped up, first of all, that's pretty gross and disturbing. I like that. And it was pretty sick how he found Franklin in the exact same way that he died. They set him up with the flashlight and everything. And I really felt for him when he found Franklin because he realized, oh yeah, he's there. He is. There's his body we've been looking for so many years.
like I like the way that like he conveyed the emotion in that scene because it wasn't like like a really bad horror film where the actor just goes, oh my god, he died.
Yeah, like he knew
Anyway,
he was dead, but still seeing his body was just kind of like
he
the
like he just
realization.
like he kind of like had like that look of like, oh my god, like holy shit, like
Yeah, like
this
this
is my
is
nephew and
real.
he died and he's like, and then like throughout, I also really liked how like at the beginning of all that, like he just charges in there, he goes ah, and he did that for like a few minutes, he's like ah, and then
Yeah.
like he starts like he just randomly screaming like an angry madman, he's like cutting stuff. I was like, oh my god, this man's crazy.
Yeah.
So he's like cutting stuff and everything's getting destroyed
It's
and
an emotional
he fights
moment for him.
Leatherface. Yeah, and he's holding his own too.
Yeah, like not only like the set design is so
But of
great,
course,
but like the practical effects of all like the gore and stuff was really good. The practical effects there, especially
oh
in
absolutely.
LJ. They skinned LJ. They skin him and it looks really gross but really good. And he's another funny character where he's just like he's literally skinned and he's just like, whatever. Like, why are you wearing my face, Stretch?
It's very well
Like,
done.
bro does not care. So, like, he's just tired.
Oh man, oh dude, that that whole scene was just so like holy crap. Like for even for like a black comedy film, that's sick. I
Yeah,
mean,
because she's literally
you
wearing her
basically take the
friend's
face and like
face. Yeah, like Leatherface put her own friend's face on her. His skin is on her just so she can hide from his family. Like, that's gross.
beauty is only
Beauty
skin
is
deep.
beauty. Yeah, it really is.
Indeed.
But yeah, I
It's
mean,
a very
he was a cool dude. The characters are really likable. Like even the sadistic ones
he
are
is a
really likable.
cool ass dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're either like
Yeah, because
heroes
I
or
think
like funny and
maybe one of
sadistic.
the few complaints I have with the yeah. But the biggest, I think the one thing I didn't really care for in the first movie is I do think the characters are just really stupid.
Well, I
Which,
mean, they weren't
again, I
like
get it. It's a
stupid. They
1980s
just
horror or a 70s horror movie.
But they didn't really like know the situation they were in. Like they just kind of stumbled upon it.
Well, what I mean by stupid is they're basically just a, how would I put it? It's like the stereotypical horror movie characters. I
Yeah, but they're not like
at least on the
unlikable or
surface.
stupid. Yeah, I mean like they're not unlikable or stupid.
And
They're
I liked
just
how in this movie
victims.
more.
Yeah.
No,
They're just like unlikable victim. I mean, unlucky. Sorry, unlucky
yeah.
victims.
Part 4 had interesting characters too. Oh, I bet.
Interesting is definitely one way of putting it.
Because that's the one with Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger, right?
Yep.
Or Zellweger.
Zelger? Zelger? I don't know. But
We'll call her Z.
I yeah, that movie was, we'll get to it, but it's something.
But speaking of the set design, though, the set design toward in like the last act of the movie was
Oh yeah, that tunnel was great.
I thought was great.
The tunnel was awesome.
Like inside that fact, I think it was a factory.
Yeah, it was
That
like
looked
a
great. I was
factory.
like, oh my god, this is from a visual standpoint, like it just aesthetic wise, it looked
Really cool.
like I don't want to say I wouldn't say gorgeous, but it looked visually appealing.
Yeah, I mean, like, it looked very gorgeous in, like, the post-apocalyptic type look.
Yeah. If that's the way Tobe Hooper was going for, he succeeded. His name is Tobe, by the way.
The kills were very, very fun. I mean, just the killing of the first two guys, all the way to Chop Top being fought
Yeah.
and thrown off the building was great. And I liked how in the first movie you see Grandpa, but in this movie you see Grandma. And they're still corpses.
Yeah. Well, we did see Grandpa again. During like the dinner scene in
Yes.
this movie.
Yes. And he was actually coming to life because he was absorbing more blood.
Yeah, Stray Twos, let's go. Legendary stream, keep it up. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Hey.
Oh, so how you doing, man? I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, so I think the one thing too about the kills in this movie, it's kind of like I'm going to use this comparison because granted they're two different movies, different franchises, but I'll use Halloween for example. In the very first Halloween, you can't really classify it as a slasher film because it's not really a slasher movie. It's just a very, very atmospheric, very like
Almost
it.
psychological.
Yeah, he's chilling, he's working, just checking in. Hope it's going well. It's going all right, buddy. It's going all right, man. I hope you're doing well. But in the second movie, it's more of like a slasher. In the first
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw, it's not so much a slasher movie. It's more of like that, like meaning like you're not getting like this grotesque blood and like there's no explosion. Like there's no explosion of blood, no over exaggerated kills. But in this movie, it takes the gore and ramps it up to
Yeah.
a higher
And it
level.
looks good.
So, yeah.
The makeup department popped off.
I wonder who did the effects for this.
Look it up.
You know what? You're right. I do have Google. This is what we do to stall for time, ladies and gentlemen, is doing
Totally.
research on Google. Who did the effects for Texas Chainsaw 2? Oh, Tom Savini did it.
I knew it was, but I didn't want to say it.
Ah, gee. Thanks. Thanks for embarrassing me on TV.
Man, I'm sorry. Tom Savini is an absolute legend. He did the makeup for the first Friday the 13th. I mean, he did the makeup in like the Night of the Living, like the Night of the Living Dead, like remake movies and like the ones in the 80s. Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead. Yeah, he's legendary.
Tom Savini is legendary.
Like, no
So,
wonder it looks so good.
you know what? You are right because I looked at like, these effects are way too good. It had to be somebody that knew what they were doing. Oh, Tom Savini. That makes sense. Also, I think this movie does use music in this movie.
Yes, very 80s type music, and honestly, I like it.
I did as well. Sorry, guys, if it sounds like we're it's not as lively or as energetic. We're dealing with a lot of technical problems right now, people.
Oh yeah.
So bear with us. Bone does
Trying
like
to
the
talk
soundtrack.
loudly so my mic will actually pick up my voice. I don't know why it's doing this.
Bone does like the soundtrack as well.
I mean, how can you not? 80s synth music and rock. I mean, it's always fun. 80s had a very vibrant time with their music. Movies, radio, all that.
I
Especially
think.
since Stretch is a DJ star.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, this movie, like, I'm gonna say, like, I know I said this at the beginning, but this movie was that I personally enjoyed it more because I think this is more my speed. Like,
Yeah, I mean, they start off with two great kills with the jerk guys. I mean, who deserved it. It's not like the victims of the first movie where you kind of feel bad because they didn't really deserve it, but the guys in the beginning kind of did because they were harassing Stretch.
yeah, because they were just like drunk idiots.
Yeah, drunk frat boys.
You know what we hate on this show?
Drunk frat boys.
Exactly. Tisk tisk tisk.
Yeah. Don't be harassing girls like Stretch. They'll get their man to kill you.
Yeah, because Stretch is let's just say Stretch is one of those people that will fuck you up.
Oh yeah, I really liked at the end when she killed Chop Top. That she did the Leatherface dance that he did at the end of the first movie.
Yeah,
She
she
deserved
she
it.
did.
She deserved it.
You know what? Fun fact: Chop Top wasn't actually supposed to die here.
Yeah, he was supposed to be in like the third movie or something, but then like the third movie was completely different and really dumb.
Tobe Hooper's son wanted to make All American Massacre, which I think was going to be a. I think Chop Top was going to be the main character. I think,
Oh, that would have been cool.
but sadly, it was never made.
That's oh, breaks my heart.
Here, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna find out the reason why because you know what? I want to know
Probably
why.
because the second movie didn't do so well, I'd assume.
Oh, hang on a minute. No, in 1998, filming began for All American Massacre. It was supposed to be the series' fifth installment.
Oh my god! I think Wang on YouTube, I think he talked about how like some of the like filming with like lost media or something like that. I remember
Yeah.
him talking about it and how they were starting to film it and like there's only some things left of the movie. It's like I don't know. It's like if you ever come across Wang, try to find that video where he talks about the lost Texas Chainsaw movie. Really good video.
Mm.
I think that's what he was talking about. Yeah, yeah, it was because I remember he was talking about how Bill Moseley was there and you could see him in the makeup chair or something like that. It sucks that we never got that.
So I'm just reading this on Wikipedia, by the way, so I don't take notes for the show, as you can tell. Um, the film was going to be a 15-minute short, but was expanded to a 60-minute feature, and it was going to be directed by Tobe Hooper's son, William Hooper.
William.
Bills Mosley was going to reprise his character as Chop Top, who had been revealed to have survived the events of TCM2 and been in a Texas psychiatric prison for a number of years. The plot of the film would have centered on Chop Top detailing his past in an interview with a news crew before carrying out a new series of murders.
Man,
And
that would have been awesome.
get this, the guy who played Leatherface was Buckethead.
Huh.
I wonder, it doesn't really, oh wait, it doesn't tell me why it never was released. Why it never got,
That
I
would have
want to
been fun.
know. That would have been a very interesting film. Who was in charge of? Oh, was it New Line? Actually, yeah, this actually fucking makes sense because of course New Line Cinema couldn't just they just couldn't they couldn't
They
help
couldn't make the
themselves.
movie.
No, they couldn't. I mean, obviously, why would they when you can make films like Jason X?
Oh, Jason X. I hate that movie so much.
Oh, trust me, when we get around to Friday the 13th, guess what we're going to be talking about?
Oh, yay.
And guess what we'll also be talking about within this franchise in 2 episodes?
No, I can't wait for the 2022 requel because it reeks. It is such a funny movie.
That's why it starts with re, because it reeks.
It's like, it's not supposed to be a funny movie, and that's why it's so funny. It's so awful that it's really funny.
Indeed. Although I haven't seen it yet.
Uh,
Like all these Texas Chainsaw movies, I think I have not seen. So
I seen, I think, all of them except for like Leatherface. I know I didn't see Leatherface. I
well,
just watched the kill count on it.
did you know that the next movie has Leatherface in the title?
Yeah, it's like Texas Chainsaw 3 Leatherface or something. I don't know. I
No,
remember.
it's called Leatherface Texas Chainsaw
Oh,
Massacre 3.
oh, that's right. I just thought it was really stupid that he had a daughter.
Don't spoil it. I haven't seen it yet.
Spoil, man. I'm doing you a favor.
Listen, I want to suffer in my own way.
I see. I see. I'm
Although
just saying, man. There's
although
a lot,
I suspect the third one's not very good.
dude. It's awful.
Oh, I can't wait to watch it then because I like watching bad movies. No, said sarcastically.
You know, unless they're like really funny. But I found this movie like when I first watched it. I think I was like 14. I found it really boring and really stupid.
That's the general consensus. The third one is dumb and very stupid
And boring.
and boring. Did we mention everybody? Boring.
It's boring. Not much happens.
I think Cody Leach said it best about the third one. Is it's just very boring.
Yeah. Like, how
And
do you
that's
make a cannibal movie boring?
well, New Line Cinema found a way.
Oh, God.
I love New Line Cinema, as you can tell.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when you've released such classics as Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, and Jason X.
That movie pissed me off. Dude, no, we going back to Nightmare 6. That movie made me so angry watching it. It was so bad. It wasn't even so bad it's good, like the Texas Chainsaw 2022. No, it was just bad, and it felt like a big middle finger to anyone who liked any of the movies prior.
Damn, let them know.
Bro, people are like, oh, the remake is terrible. It ain't the best, but at least it tries over 6. It baffles me when people go that 6 is better than the remake.
They're both equally bad.
Man, at least one tries with the horror. The other one is just straight up dumb brain rot.
Well,
Not even the fun brain rot.
the one does try with the horror, but it doesn't do it very well.
No, but you can see where the effort is. Freddy 6 is just like, oh, he has a daughter now. Oh, like, bro, what?
But they did kill him in that movie, so they did live up to
They
its.
did not. He comes back for Freddy versus Jason.
I mean, but for a while there, they kept true to their word. So I mean,
When do they ever?
they kind of did it that time. So I mean,
Hate it here.
listen, it's like you can't compare bad movies and bad movies because they're just equally shit.
Ugh.
See, once again, you guys have to watch these episodes like in order because it ties back. It's like a universe. We gotta tie them back.
The Austinator cinematic universe.
We will always reference stuff from previous episodes like we just did and like we did with the Matrix. We're just going to keep doing it. I think we covered everything about this movie unless
Nah, that's all I had to talk about was like the thing is when a movie is like good and I like it, like I can go over everything that's great about it very quickly, and there
yeah.
really isn't much more than that. It's like when I have a movie I hate, I seem to have more to talk about because it's just more complaining.
See, people don't like it on the internet when you talk positively about stuff. You can only really be
No.
negative. And thankfully with this franchise, we got a lot of negatives to talk about apparently.
Oh God, do we?
Because the next two movies are really they're bad, at least from what I'm being told. And then the remakes, I think the remakes is going to be interesting because we could have mixed opinions on them. Like that's going to be an interesting conversation.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And then the last three movies, the last three movies that came out, the more recent ones, they're all bad. So you know what? You guys will be thoroughly entertained by us talking about Texas Chainsaw 3D, Leatherface, and of
Leatherface,
course,
Texas Chainsaw 3.
oh, and then we got to. Oh yeah, we're talking about that in the next episode. Oh boy, I can't wait to talk about Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw 3. Don't you hate it when movies have really long fucking titles? I do.
It's better than just having the same title as the first movie and calling it a day.
You know what? That still really grinds my gears, and I'll be talking about it when we get to Texas Chainsaw 2003 because I got a lot of fucking like I hate it when franchises
Well, no, I meant
do
like
that. Like Halloween did it.
requels. Yeah, like the 2003
Oh,
one was a straight up remake, so I get it. But the 2022 one was it supposed to be like a sequel to the first movie? So that one is like, why don't you just call it Texas Chainsaw 2?
but still, it's very confusing. It's like you have.
It
It
is.
sucks that now I have to preface. Oh, do you want to watch Texas Chainsaw 19? It's like, oh, you guys talk about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Which one you talk about? You talk about the Texas Chainsaw 1974, Texas Chainsaw 2003, or Texas Chainsaw 2022. I hate when people do that. It's so
Exactly.
annoying.
When Candyman 2021 came out, I'm like, man, now I gotta specify. I didn't really like that one. I like the original though.
Like, don't you hate when you have to specify something when you shouldn't
Yeah,
have to?
real.
And I keep bringing it back to Halloween, but Halloween's done this too. It's like, oh, you want to talk about the 1984 Halloween, or or do you want to talk, or are we talking about the 2007 Halloween or the 2018 Halloween, or it's like Scream? Oh, are you guys talking about the 1990s
Five
Scream, or are you talking about?
cream.
Oh, God, it's so annoying. I hate it when studios do it, and they're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah. I call Scream 2020 like one. I call it 5 cream because
Five
that's
Cream.
what they did. Well, cuz when they did the title, it's just 5 and then cream cuz they're trying to make it scream, but it doesn't look right.
That's like taking 5. That sounds like you took 5 gum and put it into ice cream.
Yeah, and it sounds really gross.
Well, I don't know if I don't know how it feels to chew 5 gum, but if you put that feeling into an ice cream, I don't know.
Not good.
Probably not good. See, this is what happens, guys. We stop talking about a movie and now we just talk about random shit.
Bro, this is ADHD, the podcast.
Indeed. So if you have ADHD, this show is for you. My God, the fact we stretch it out to an hour thanks to technical issues, researching, and just tomfoolery. Great show, everybody. I am proud of all of us. And I don't know if my audio is screwing up or if it's AngryCareBears again.
No, it's me again. I was just saying,
Okay.
you know, we're just here for fun. Obviously, we don't have great equipment. Our shit keeps cutting out.
Yeah, as you can see, we live in poverty.
Yeah.
Now, I'm saying that as a joke. No, I don't want anybody taking that as, oh my God, they're living. No, it's fine, everybody. It's a joke.
Send me money.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my link down for my PayPal. No, I'm not gonna do that. Not gonna do that. Come on. I won't
I
do
don't
that for
mean to
We're not
butt
that
in
important.
and cut short, but I gotta go.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here. So give your final grade real quick and let everybody tell everybody where they can find you at.
Honestly, I give it a B. I give it a B. I like it. I really like it. And you can find me at AngryCareBears on YouTube. I'd be posting sometimes, usually video game related content. I'm hoping to, when we do those video game reviews, hopefully stream it to my channel maybe, whenever I figure out how to do that.
Indeed, we will definitely do that. And I give this movie a 8 out of 10. I like it more than the first one. Because I
Very
gave the
good.
first one a 7. And I'm going to wrap it up because I also have to go. And also because I want to make sure I can end it before my internet craps out again. So
True.
check me out later tonight. Wrestling show. Good old wrestling. Check it out. I'm usually on the Hangout on Wednesdays. And I'm usually on Storms Nation on Sundays. I'm everywhere. Check me out. I'm rushing. But gosh darn it, I'm rushing out anyway. I want to thank everybody in the chat. I want to thank Bone. Star Wars Network, and I want to thank Strutus. We'll be back next time talking about Leatherface Texas Chainsaw 3. And then we're out. So thanks everybody for watching. This is the Austinator and AngryCareBears signing out.
Bye.
Peace.
That's awesome.